Welcome back, Lieutenant. Do you have anything to report? You have done well, Lieutenant. I knew my faith was not misplaced. You are to be commended for your efforts on Neverwinter's behalf. Your efforts at the docks have greatly improved the position of the Watch, but it has also drawn new predators.
Predators from Luskan.
Luskan is one of our less benevolent neighbors. We have had troubles with them in the past.
A war, actually. No need to hedge words when it comes to their kind. Now, those Luskan cowards are attempting to take advantage of your success at the docks to put spies in our midst.
We have caught word that one of their agents is attempting to enter port on board a merchant vessel from Luskan, a vessel called the Sea Ghost. We need you to go to the docks, board the Sea Ghost, and stop the Luskans. Return here when you have accomplished your mission.
And what news do you bring from Old Owlwell, Lorne? Do Grey Cloak and bodies now lie in the hands of the Shadow Priests?
No, my lord. There were difficulties. An adventurer...
You have failed me, yet dare to return? I asked you to keep the priests safe. Without them, there will be no ritual. All I asked of you was to put pressure on the Neverwinter forces, cut off their trade routes through the mountains. Yet all you have given Neverwinter is hope, and a victory at Old Owlwell, which will allow them to concentrate on other fronts.
Fort Lock and Highcliff still remain ours, Lord Darius. Neverwinter's attention will be focused there, not upon us.
Fort Lock and Highcliff, yes. Obviously you have not heard, but our position there has become weaker, not stronger. And now you have come to tell me Old Owlwell has fallen, and the priests there are dead. Perhaps I shall allow you to be the one to tell the King of Shadows the news. Is that your wish, Lorne?
My Lord Darius, forgive me. It shall not happen again. I swear upon my life.
In that, Lorne, you are correct.
A common adventurer outmaneuvered you, Lorne. You really are losing your touch.
Bite your tongue, Torio, or I'll rip it from your throat. He won't stop me a second time.
Oh, of course he won't, Lorne. With your luck, chances are next time, he'll just kill you.
We have heard of your success at the Sea Ghost. You are to be commended.
Taking care of that ship did not get rid of all the Luskans, but it hurt them. And that's good enough for me.
I hope that none of the Luskans escaped your notice. They tend to hold grudges. Here you are, the reward for your efforts. It was a dangerous mission, and you did well. Lieutenant, I have just received word from the Nine. They believe assassins are in Neverwinter, and have asked for our help in dealing with them. There was some hesitation in them asking for our assistance. The incidents in the docks have caused questions. I am not sure they trust our ability. Yet we have the location, and I'm giving you your orders. Proceed to the merchant quarter and deal with the situation. If they pose a threat to Neverwinter, I want their presence here removed. Go now, prepare yourself, and report back here when you've dispatched this threat to Neverwinter.
Lorne, I've been waiting for your report.
Oh, but Master, look, Lorne's face is sad. Has he had a setback?
My lord, there has been trouble at the docks.
Trouble? Oh, Lorne, please.
Silence, Torio. Let Lorne speak.
Of course, Garius. I meant no disrespect.
The City Watch has become organized. They're taking command of the docks, and they jeopardize our position there. Several of our agents have been killed, others driven off.
Curious. This is a rather sudden turn of events, Lorne.
I can fix it, my lord. I swear to you.
I did not gain my title of Master of the Fifth Tower by drowning Luskan in blood, and I do not wish you to do the same to the docks. It is an unfortunate setback, but one I think we can still repair, provided we use the right tool.
Lieutenant, you have done well. These men are from the Nine, under the service of Captain Naval.
You know our orders were that you give us the location of the assassins, Captain Verlaina, and let us deal with them. And now with the death of Lord Hawks, I think the Watch's attention could have been better spent elsewhere.
I believe the Nine and the Cloak Tower are the ones responsible for the watch in Black Lake. This matter was something my lieutenant could handle on his own, and has. I hope you're not blaming us for Lord Hawk's death. As I recall, the order given to the watch were to man the gates of Black Lake and solely act as couriers for the Nine and the Cloak Tower mages. We are, as always, ready and able to serve Neverwinter in any capacity requested. If you wish us to take a greater role in the Black Lake investigation, then we would be happy to assist.
I doubt any order I give you would be followed to the letter, Captain, but I appreciate your gesture nonetheless. Good day, Captain. Lieutenant.
As you no doubt heard, Lieutenant, while you were on your mission, there was another death in Black Lake, Lord Hawk's. Lord Hawk's died in the same manner as Lord Gentry. There was no forced entry and no wounds upon the body. He was struck dead, his body found this morning. You have done all I asked at the docks, and now I am giving you official permission to enter the Black Lake District. But do not interfere with the investigation there. I fear I have pushed the Nine as far as they will go in this matter. As for the docks, I suspect they will always give us trouble, but with your help we have made great strides in restoring order to the area, and trade should improve as a result. Lord Nasher will be pleased, and I shall make sure to mention your name to him. Thank you for your efforts, Lieutenant, and fortune be with you on your travels in the Black Lake District.
Ah, well met, well met. Please forgive my rather rude questions at the door. I would never intentionally stand in the way of the city watch. Well, unless there was nowhere else left to stand, really. But that wouldn't happen unless there was a flood. I must confess, normally I'm rather, reclusive. Not that I dislike people, mind you. Quite the contrary. But lately, with all the troubles, a murderer on the loose and young nobles sneaking around up to who knows what, I've had to place wards around my home. Ah, yes. Lately I've seen figures sneaking around in the dark, and not that well-meaning sort of sneaking either. It's obvious what they want. Why, my house, of course. As if I would ever sell it. Ridiculous. I'd sooner give up my left eye. But my right annoys me at times, so that would be an easier sell. In any event, back when I first settled in Neverwinter, my humble abode was on the outskirts of Black Lake, bordering acres of untouched wilderness. Now, with Neverwinter being rebuilt, following all that plague nonsense, my property went from the periphery to being right on the main thoroughfare of the rich part of Neverwinter. All the nobility wants to live in Black Lake, but there's no more room, so lately they've been trying various ways to convince me to sell my land. First, they tried offering me ridiculous sums of gold. What do I need with more gold? Next, they tried making loud noises late at night, but I need little sleep, so the only thing they accomplished was scaring away the night birds that raid my garden, for which I thanked them. Lately, they must be getting desperate, because most nights I can look out and see them watching me. Oh no, not at all. My wards work quite well, and these nobles are too civilized to try anything worse than mild harassment. Of course. Who else would sneak around my home? Well, present company excluded. Oh, that's right. You came here for a reason, yes? Great dear, what a tale! The moment you arrived, I knew I'd be interested in meeting you. Wish I'd known that when I first greeted you. Would have saved some time. You've certainly come to the right place. A while ago, I found another shard with properties similar to the ones you possess. I've done every possible test on the shard, but learned little. However, I've never had another shard to compare it against. If you'd like some answers, I'll gladly run some tests on your shards. I have just enough quicksilver to do it. Ah, thank you. I'll be right back with this. My tests are complete. With another shard to use as a comparison, well, I learned quite a bit. Quite a lot, actually. It appears these shards contain latent magical energy, either caused by a strong enchantment from when they were whole or from their method of destruction. Furthermore, the shards resonate when they are brought together, increasing their magical energy output accordingly. These shards are pieces of a broken Githyanki silver sword. Are you familiar with the Githyanki? The Githyanki are a race of beings that dwell on the astral plane, led by Vlakith, the Lich Queen. Not a nice woman, I hear. Ages ago, the ancestors of the Githyanki were human and inhabited another plane of existence, where they were enslaved by the Illithids, or Mind Flayers. Then came Gith. Little is known about her outside the Githyanki, but she led the rebellion to free her people of the Illithids, and is considered the hero and founder of the Githyanki people. The Githyanki silver swords are forged with the special purpose of severing the silver cord that connects the form of an astrally projecting traveler to his or her material counterpart. They look like a regular Githyanki weapon until used in combat, at which point they turn into a column of flowing, shimmering liquid. Really quite amazing, I'm told. I believe the shards that you have found are pieces of one of these silver swords. I presume the Githyanki have come to Faerun to recover the shards. I've never heard of one being broken before. It could be that the Githyanki are as interested in how it was broken as they are in reclaiming the pieces. I wish I knew more. Amon-Jero was the real expert. He actually possessed a silver sword. Amon-Jero? Oh, he was a court wizard of Neverwinter decades ago. I met him a few times. He was a nice fellow, a little absent-minded, with a tendency to drift off the subject. Amon-Jero reminded me of my old mentor, Master Growler. Had the largest collection of noisy, exotic birds, made quite a racket, you know, chirping and squawking. I have no idea. He was a gentle sort, though, so I doubt that he stole or killed for the sword. I suppose they would. But if they went after Amon-Jero, they never found him. He passed away as quietly as he lived. Well, he's dead now, so I'm not sure finding him will help you much. When word of Amon's death reached me, it was from a messenger who had heard it in passing. The nobles who ruled Neverwinter at the time must have assumed I would simply know if another scholar passed away, for they had not mentioned it to me. It was almost an afterthought. I learned later that it was partly due to what Amon's family wanted, and what had been requested by the deceased, to enter life quietly and to leave it the same way. It is sad in this age when the passing of a humble scholar and indistinct court wizard barely warrants a footnote in history. It makes me wonder, will anyone remember me when I'm gone? That's kind of you to say, but unlike Amon-Jero, I will not be survived by any family. I suppose they would, but the Jero family was said to have moved far away from Neverwinter after the war, and Amon-Jero's passing. I have no idea where they might be now. Oh, those were dark, confusing times. So much death and chaos, all brought about by some self-proclaimed King of Shadows. We were told the King of Shadows was not a king at all, but rather a very powerful warlock and summoner of demons. He invaded Neverwinter decades ago with an army of demons. Neverwinter sent their forces to confront him. Both armies perished in the battle, and the King of Shadows was never heard from again. Some rumors suggest that he was defeated and imprisoned by a cabal of mages. Others say that he was dragged away to the abyss by his own demon servants. Whatever the King of Shadows' fate, I say good riddance. There is very little else for me to share with you. I certainly wasn't there, and what little history that has been recorded of those times remains vague and murky. However, if you wish, I would be happy to sit down and speculate with you about the King of Shadows. It would be a wonderfully entertaining exercise. Certainly. Where was I? Oh yes, when I discovered this shard and suspected what it might be, I attempted to uncover Amon-Jero's research on the subject. Unfortunately, any information Amon-Jero had on the Githyanki was either lost to the grave, taken far away by his family, or locked within his haven. It was a private retreat of some sort, where he went for solitude. I know it exists, but I don't know where. I suspect that the Neverwinter archives here in Black Lake would have its location. They typically keep noble family records in the secured archives. They don't allow just anyone to access them, though. I petitioned to be allowed to peruse the secured archives, but I was denied because, well, some silly misunderstanding regarding misplaced books that somehow ended up in my possession. Normally, you would have to petition for access, which could take several weeks. However, ask the guards at the archives to speak directly with Archives Administrator Kotnik. He has been known to let me in, quietly on occasion. Very well. Thank you for your visit, and for letting me chat with you. Quite enlightening, really. Oh, and before I forget, you may take my shard. I've no use for it any longer, and who knows, you may gather more. Do be careful, though. I plan to raise my wards again after you have left to keep out those young nobles skulking about. Hope we haven't talked too long. Otherwise, they may have gathered their courage and attempted to sneak in.
We have the location of Haven. Interesting. There is another Gerald. Ziri will want her. I shall take care of the descendant. Wipe out all mention of the thief. Then rejoin the others. The collector! Kill him!
There she is! Capture her! Ziri wants her alive!
What in the hells is going on?
Things have turned out well for us, my brothers. The girl and the Kalakcha, both within our reach. Take one team and capture the girl alive. The rest of us will deal with this one.
Split up and search the rooms. It should not be difficult to find the girl in here. So the Kalakcha survived. Deal with him first. The girl can wait.
You again? Don't come any closer. What? I'm not going anywhere. Why won't you all just leave me alone? Stop right there. What do you want with me? I don't even know. That's my house. First my barn, now my house?
This brings back memories.
Looks like those things are trying to smoke us out. Well, it worked. Let's get out of here before this place collapses. So my barn and home are both burned to the ground. Any more of your help and all of Highcliffe will be the next to go. Anyway, I think it's best we part ways now. You go your way, I'll go mine. Look, I barely know you, but what I do know is whenever you show up, trouble's not far behind. So I think it's best we say our farewells now. Thanks. Maybe I should have stuck with you after all. Well, you could have killed me if you wanted to, I admit. Though you've destroyed everything else. Look, we really need to get out of here before more of these creatures show up. Do you know of anywhere safe that we can talk? Neverwinter? The only safe place you can think of is in Neverwinter? Why not? My barn's gone, my house is gone. Are we leaving right away?
Well now, I see you've brought someone new to my establishment. Now who is this young lady? Please lass, come in, come in. Make yourself at home. This here is the Sunken Flagon. I own it. You'll be safe here. Krabnar, play a tune or something. Make the lady feel welcome.
Why, of course! I was just thinking.
Look, we don't need a lecture on what passes through your head and out your mouth. Just play!
Well, the innkeeper certainly runs hot and cold. All right, I agreed to let you bring me here. Now I want some answers.
Not all of us wanted you here. Trust me.
What happened at my farm? Who were those creatures, and why were they after me? Calm down? Calm down? You try being calm when your farm is attacked by monsters and burnt to the ground.
I'm just sorry you're here.
Well, that's more like it. Keep it up and I may forgive you for what happened to my farm. Maybe. Right, so who are these Githyank, whatever they are, and why were they trying to kill me? What could I possibly know that would be important? I lived on that farm all my life. Did they want to learn how to milk cows? Almanjaro? He was my grandfather. Or my great-grandfather. Or was it my great-great-grandfather? I heard he was an eccentric but humble wizard. But he died a long time ago. What's he got to do with this whole mess? My mother told me about the Haven when I was a child. I thought it was just a tale she used to make me do my chores on time. She always threatened to lock me in there if I wasn't a good girl. My mother said his haven was like 100 twisting corridors jumbled together into an inescapable labyrinth, filled with the deadliest traps and evil beasts conjured from the abyss, or something like that. I think she was exaggerating. I have no memory of meeting him, but my mother told me that he saw me a few times as a babe. But I was too young to remember. Mother said he would cradle me and sing to me, and I would pull out his beard hairs.
Just keep your distance from me, lass.
You know, I never thought of it that way. You may be right. Look, I can barely think, let alone stand. I really need rest. We can talk about this tomorrow.
Is she sleeping here too?
Alarm! Alarm! Everyone, get out of bed and grab a weapon! The flagon's under attack! That lass Chandra has been taken? How in the hells did those Githyanki get into the city?
Does that matter? You'd best hurry if you want to get her back. Look, this one has a sprig of duskwood trapped in his boot. That means they came from deep within Luskan territory, and that's where they'd be returning to.
Luskan? That's your territory, Bishop.
Yes, but it's not my problem. I'm not going into Luskan territory for some farm girl, and certainly not with any kin of yours, Duncan. Is your whole family deaf, Duncan? Like I said, not my problem.
You'll help them, Bishop, whether you like it or not.
And what makes you think? Calling it due, are you, Duncan? Are you sure?
A woman's life is at stake, Bishop. If that's what it takes to move you to do the right thing, then so be it.
Fine. It will be worth it to be rid of you, and for such a small price, too. You're a fool, Duncan.
So be it.
All right. Pack your bags and grab your weapons. We're bound for the Luskan border. Follow my lead and don't try to be clever. If the Luskans catch us, they'll use us for target practice. Hold on. Something isn't right. Now you're learning. Good. Keep listening to me and you might stay alive. But it's not just the villagers. Where are the livestock? They didn't take them all to market, trust me. We're on the trail of our friends, though. They're moving fast, but it looks like we've closed in a bit. Their trail's hard to miss. They may know where they're going, but they aren't bothering to hide their tracks. It's almost as if they want us to keep up. I don't like it. Keep your eyes open and your weapon handy. I smell an ambush. They left a large force in this village, which means it'll be easier on us when we catch up to the others, as long as we catch them before they go to ground. Huh? Well now, aren't you a bright ray of hope? But you're right, and what's more, our friends won't be leaving an obvious trail this time, since they don't have the men to bait any more ambushes.
Says you! Bring them on, says I!
Me too. That was fun. Like target practice, except real targets.
A little difficult, but we handled it. More than could be said for the villagers here giving up their homes to the enemy. Surprised the Giths left any of them alive. It'd be more mercy than I'd show them. Tell me you're not as blind as you seem. You're from West Harbor, right? Duncan told me what happened there. What do you think would have happened to your little swamp village if all of you had decided to surrender and wait the Gith out? You know what would have happened as well as I do. At least I admit it. All right then, let's head out. We have a lot of ground to cover, and I'll...
Forgive me. Are you hunting a woman, Chandra Jarrow? Those creatures... We heard her screaming as they were carrying her off. I tried to call out to her, but I didn't realize they had her at first. But she makes a merchant run through Ember and Port Last during harvest season. We hadn't seen her yet this year, though. And, sorry, where are my manners? I am Elaine. Please, I saw the beast taking her to the mountains to the north and east. They barely have an hour on you. But they were moving fast. And thank you for saving us from those creatures. I can't thank you.
We promise no such thing. In fact, she could be dead. But we'll follow this trail as long as we feel like it. Now run back home with the rest of your scared kinsfolk. Fine. Coddle them. And all you'll do is line their bodies up for execution. Now, can we go without more mewling dogs getting in our way? Every moment we wait, the trail gets colder.
Zieri has foretold your coming, Kalakcha. She has sent me to end you. I enjoy knowing my prey, Kalakcha. I find it sweetens the taste of their death. Zieri allows me this luxury. Zieri is a sword stalker of the highest order. She is favored by the Lich Queen and has slain countless enemies. We sword stalkers are an elite order, tasked by the Lich Queen to recover our silver swords that have been lost and hunt the fools that steal them. Silver swords are the Lich Queen's sacred gift to her knights. Many outsiders covet their power. Their theft is the highest crime an outsider can commit. Vlaakith, the Lich Queen, has been our leader for millennia. Her greatness is second only to Gith herself. I don't wish to speak of her further. Gith is our savior. It was by the strength of her conviction and the power of her sword that she freed our people from our enslavement to the Illithids. Long live Gith! Long live Gith! Gith lives. Of that, every Githyanki is certain. But she is lost to us. Some say she is imprisoned in Bator. You dare question my devotion to the Lich Queen? Slay the Kalakcha! For Zieri! Zieri! There is a problem. Handle it! I am not finished here.
Find the Githyanki leader and retrieve the shards from her Zexus. Leave no one alive. As for these newcomers, deal with them.
Listen, when I strike it, it's like the tolling of a bell.
I can still smell the stench of its creator on its surface, running deep into the ore. Why would the Gith keep such a thing, as broken as it is? We should tear it apart, see if its limbs twitch when cleaved from the body.
Why, it seems one victim has drawn others.
Anything being torn apart by demons is an ally in my book.
This is a construct. Basically, raw elemental matter brought to life through magic. Unlife given life. If I'm not mistaken, this is a blade golem. It takes a lot of skill to put one of these together. A lot more power than I have.
Obviously, this thing wasn't on the Githyanki side, whatever it was. Or those demons. Which means there's someone else tracking our movements. How many enemies do you have anyway? There's almost more than I can count.
There's a surprise.
Watch it. But you know, seems to me this thing could be worth some coin. Let's take it with us. Sell it off to a wizard.
These demons were unanticipated. Your arrival was not. I've seen it burning brightly in my visions for some time. How long did you think you could escape us? You have stolen our shards, defiled them with your touch, and now you will die, Kalakcha!
Trust me, once he gets on your trail, you're doomed.
Know that you're in no position to demand anything from me. You will answer for your crimes, along with this frail thing that carries the last of the Jero blood. You don't know your crimes? Very well. Let me recount them. You have slaughtered many of our people, and you hold in your possession relics sacred to the Githyanki, silver sword of our people. Fragments of it. You put too much importance on your actions and your crime. You have nothing that other thieves have not stolen before. You think there is something special or unique about your crime, or the shards you carry. There is not! You fill the air around you with lies and accusations, but you will find they make a poor shield. I have recounted your crimes. You shall stall your punishment no longer. Why, the same thing you want from her. She is the last known descendant of one who stole a silver sword from us. You already know the answer. The time for your deceptions is over. His sword, the blade he stole from us, was broken. Instead of prying the blade from his hands, we must hunt down the mess of his crime. Within her thoughts, somewhere is the knowledge I seek. I will leave no memory unturned, no shred of self untouched. And when I have what I need, I shall execute her. Yes, the lives of humans are all too brief. But their sins are passed to their kin, and so has Amanjero's crime passed to his descendant. Now you will face your punishment, Kalakcha. It is why your path brought you here, and why the shards you carry will soon be added to mine. They did so in response to your crime. As you carry the shards, so must you carry the guilt as well. It is a door shaped by my people, one that leads to the realms of the Githyanki, and maintained by my will alone. If you were in the astral plane, the Lich Queen would see that you were slowly tortured, killed, and then raised again for countless cycles. Your crime merits many deaths. Among the Githyanki, none but the Lich Queen have more authority than I. Enough of this. Know that I will hear your pleas and allow you this one last chance to atone for your crime. My offer of mercy is this. I will grant a swift, painless death for you and your companions if you freely hand over the shards you have taken.
Are you a fool? She's going to kill us anyway.
Don't worry about me. If you give her those shards, we'll all die anyway.
She is right, of course. And I'm through asking for what I may simply take from you. Did you really think you could keep such relics of my people? They do not belong to you. Odd. I have all the ones you carry, yet it seems you still possess one. You have a piece of the sword inside of you. And I shall remove it from you by force. Think this is over? You are wrong, Kalakcha. And I hope the pain you have brought here is revisited upon you 1,000-fold. The Lich Queen will know of my fall, yes. But it will be too late. What comes for you will be revenge enough. We were never the ones you had to fear. In defying us, you have harmed your own people and everything on your plane. The Githyanki will strike at you no longer. This was the last of our strongholds devoted to the recovery of the shards. There will be no more attacks from my people, because it will serve no purpose. You have sealed your fate. The shards you carry were needed. The shard and you all are needed. Evil wakes, Kalakcha. And in killing me, you now stand alone against what comes. An ancient enemy comes for you. One that has existed for millennia. You have already felt the effects of his presence, and he will grow stronger with time. This enemy, this king of shadows, if he succeeds in his plans, your civilization will become dust, and all life will be consumed by darkness. I will see you in death, Kalakcha. I do not think I will have to wait long.
I'm getting so tired of this. You have to let me save you sometime, or else I'll never be able to pay you back.
Oh, there'll be plenty of time for you to pay all of us on the way back to Neverwinter.
You all put me in danger. I'm not paying you a single coin.
Oh, then you'll be paying me another way. My bedroll's a little cold at night. I'm thinking you can fix that.
Maybe you'd best shut your mouth, Ranger. Your words are starting to anger me.
Oh, really? What a surprise. How'd you like it if I left you here in Luskan territory with your righteousness to keep you company?
Hey, welcome back! Glad to see you've all returned, and in one piece, no less. Huh? What do you mean? Look, I don't know why you're asking again. Surely you've heard this before. You were just a babe when West Harbor was attacked near the end of the war with the King of Shadows. You suffered that wound from a stray arrow or debris. I don't know anything else, especially about something that happened so many years ago. What about where you've been? Inside the wound on your chest. That means you've been carrying around the shard almost your entire life. We had no idea.
Notice the stumble in his words. Your uncle has been keeping secrets, I think.
Silence, Bishop. I don't know if I'm the best one to be telling you this, but if you've got one of those shards in you, I think you've earned the right to hear everything. Dagon probably already told you, but when you were an infant, West Harbor was the site of a battle, a terrible battle. The King of Shadows himself led an army of demons against the Neverwinter army, which had gathered at the village. West Harbor was struck suddenly, without warning. There was panic, confusion, villagers fleeing every which way to escape the battle. But Dagon's wife Shayla and your mother Esmeril did not. They stayed behind to save you. As demons and mage fire rained upon the village, they fought to reach your crib. By the time Dagon even realized they were missing, it was too late. He could only watch from a distance as the village was consumed in the battle. It wasn't my decision to keep what happened to your mother from you, and my brother would be furious I told you. I guess he thought it would be too much for you. In any case, when the few that remained returned to the village, no one was alive. Except you. Your mother was there. So much blood, and you were clutched in her bosom. A deep wound in your chest. She tried to shield you, but the shard must have cut through her and into you. No one knew how you survived, but you did, and your wound sealed itself within days, leaving the scar that you still bear. But if that wound was due to the shard that pierced you, then that raises many questions, and I'm afraid I'm just all out of answers. It's been with me for a long time. I am glad I could finally speak of it.
Why the long faces, you two? Somebody die? If so, sounds like a cause for celebration to me. Grobnar, you worthless half-man, strike up a tune before I strike you.
Of course, Sir Bishop. It so happens I have just the tune.
By the way, I've decided it would be in both our interests if I stay on with you. What? Does a man need a reason? Come now. Duncan's kind request was enough to start this, I think. Why not finish it?
We don't need any more of your help.
No, there's no need, Bishop. I'm sorry for before, but you've done more than...
Oh, come now, Duncan, I still owe you. And what better way to make it up to you than watching your kin here? After all, a debt is a debt, all the way until the end. Isn't that right?
I hate to ask, but what happens now? I can't go back to my farm, ashes and all.
Travel with us? Her?
I'd have to agree with Nishka. She's been through enough. Do you think that's wise?
Oh, well, I mean, you don't have to go that far, but, thanks.
Fine, but she's not getting my share of the treasure.
If that is your decision, so be it. But it is her decision as well, since it endangers her.
I really appreciate the sudden interest from the both of you, but I can take care of myself. Besides, whenever I'm alone, that's when the problems seem to crop up.
If she's going to be with us, she'll need to do some catching up. We can't just keep on rescuing her all the time.
Rescuing me? I can rescue myself. Sometimes, when there's not too many lizard men or Githyanki. Well, I know enough to use a sword, and I can handle myself in a fight. I mean, I'm no spellcaster, but if you need an extra blade... I admit you've rescued me twice now, and if you're going to help teach me to survive these attacks, I accept. But there's some things you're going to have to accept too. I don't like being left behind, because whenever you're out of my sight, suddenly all this trouble starts happening, and I'm really tired of it. So, look. I won't try to get in your way or anything, but I don't want us to part ways again. I've lost too much already. You're not leaving me behind, all right? Then that's all I ask.
So the farm girl's going to join our band. Good. We need someone to make up for the paladin, or at least to catch arrows if Grobnar's already dead. For now, I say we crack some of those kegs and drown the flagon in wine.